all social media. Hey, what's up? Let's talk with Yolanda. Hey, today I am in a barbershop and I have some special guests, and today I am doing Street Violence Part 2, Where Does the Guns? I'm going to introduce my guests. Before I introduce my guests, I'm going to do the breathing exercise real quickly, just as an icebreaker, because this is a major topic. It's real, it's raw, it's what's going on today, real talk. So on 3, I'm going to do the breathing in and out to start us off as an icebreaker. Breathe in and breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in and breathe out. 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 Last one. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, how you feel today? Hermoso días. De precioso. I want to say I'm humble. I'm grateful that you're tuning in. This is one of my special guests. I'm going to let him introduce himself, tell you where we are, and we're going to get busy. So on that note, Zafir.
Yes, I'm Zafir. Zafir's Ramadan Oasis Barbershop. We're here in the barbershop, enjoying this day, as always. I'm with my main man. He's back there cutting right now, and that's Marcus. We have 2 other barbers, which is Ty and June. June stepped out for a minute, and Ty, he should be here later on.
So, Sai, now that you know that we're in the barbershop, what's your address to your barbershop?
6600 Grat Street.
6600 Grat Street. We're here. It's right off of Ogans Avenue. Check a brother out. Give a brother a play. So, on that note, what we're going to talk about, Sai, what do you think the street violence, what is your perspective as a black man with our youth taking each other out? I mean, it's like killing has no moral value to it. It's like
it's almost no ending to it.
It's like
to me, one of the aspects is it's a mindset. It's the mindset of these young kids. They have to learn how to grow up and mature more quickly. Because we challenge them. We challenge our youth. You know, I challenge the youth. Those that are 15 to 20, we challenge them to get older, to grow old, to an age of, say, 20 to 30. Then your mind will change. Your thought patterns will change. And you will grow to be able to think. You get more responsibilities.
Safir, so what do you think, like, you and I both know behind the street violence, you know, the consequences is like unbelievable. You know, what do you think the consequences are? You want to sit down?
There's only 2 consequences to this game right now. It's either jail or hell.
Can you like break that down a little bit?
By the streets, you will see that if you continue to be in the streets, and it's always a retaliation thing. You know, that's where a lot of this comes from, retaliation. If he do this to my boy, I got to get back at him. And that's not the way to go, because that's going to cause more and more confusion. You know, the payback. No, you should stop the payback. It has to stop somewhere, because if it don't stop there, it's going to continue and continue and continue, which will cause more problems, chaos.
Yeah, it's almost like it just trickles over, you know, and it's crazy because it's like,
and it's selfishness too. It's selfish. If they the young kids, take yourself out the equation and think of your parents, your sisters, your brothers. Look what you take them through. If something happened to you, say if you go to jail or if you're in the gravesite, they are crying. They're crying. You know, it's a hurt for them.
And it's the consequences.
So it's being selfish. Yeah, that's part of the consequences.
It's the consequences, you know.
And we have friends. I have friends that's been in jail now for 40 years, 50 years. They giving y'all their time. They not playing with you. You know. And nowadays you have cameras everywhere. So why would you even? You know, it's stupid to even do something now. You're not going to get away. You know.
You know. So, Safir, so what do you say about these young kids, I mean, they're killing each other. It's like going to the candy store, you know what I mean? Like the guns are so prevalent. And, you know, like you said, it destroys a whole family. And it destroys a neighborhood. It destroys a community.
Well, for one thing, the guns come from manufacturers. As long as you have guns, people are going to get guns. As long as guns are being made, they're going to get them. So people always ask, where do the kids get these guns from? Manufacturers. You stop making guns, kids won't have guns. I know it's a amendment right, but still, that's where they're coming from. As long as you make guns, they're going to be guns.
So as a black man in a community, you know, what do you think, you know, about saving our community, saving our generation?
Saving our generation, the kids have to look up to somebody or something. Listen to your parents. Your parents is usually not going to tell you wrong. That's one of the keys to this thing. Listening.
You know,
watching.
I want to kind of iterate something with you. You know, there was a time where the young brothers would go and talk to, like, quote unquote, the old heads, and, you know, value what you say and mimic it, you know, and you're like a father figure, a mentor, and they would mimic what you say. And now the old heads don't even want to talk to the youth, or the youth don't want to hear nothing that the old heads have to say. What do you say?
Well, we as the old heads, we can't never give up on our youth. Never. Because we were hard-headed at one time. But I'm going to tell you something. It's always one old head that we always listen to, that we respect, no matter what. You might disrespect a lot of other ones, but there's always going to be one that you look up to. So that one has to not give up, you know.
So, Si, before we go any further, you know, can you let the viewers know where we are again, where we're shooting our live from today?
We're shooting at 6600 Grat Street, Zafir's Ramadan Oasis Barbershop.
You know, this is real talk. We're actually in the community. We're in the barbershop. You know, a lot of people say, oh, when the women go to the hair salon, the women talk. Well, men talk. Men talk, and I thought it was perfect to come to the barbershop today to get the perspective of the black male on what's going on in our community.
And that's another thing what you just stated on. It's an organization up Bradford, which is now called Phoenix Prison. That's called Real Street Talk, and they really have the answers to all of this violence and what's going on.
And what is it
Police
called?
Commission, Real Street Talk. It's an organization of Bradford Prison, which is called Phoenix Prison. And we would like Commissioner Outlaw to reach out to these guys. They really have the answer to all of this. But you have to get up there to listen to them. I implore you to do that.
This is real talk. This is real talk. This is talk at the barbershop, you know. And while we're here, Safir, if I could just kind of show.
He's up on Marcus, my main man.
I want to talk about Marcus over here. Marcus, you want to say hi?
Hello, how's everybody doing?
Marcus is saying hi. You know, this is real talk, people. This is real talk. This is community talk. This is talk from a barbershop. This is about our black men. This is about our babies. This is about our youth. This is about consequences to the violence. This is about a perspective of different black men about what's going on in our streets, what's happening today. I hope that you are listening to this today and you give me some feedback, because this is so important. This is real, and this is raw talk.
That's right. Let's get it together. Let's do this thing. You know? Let's stop this violence. You know? Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Marcus, do you have something you want to say to our live today on street violence?
Street violence, I strongly believe that if the punishment fit the crime, that would slow a lot of it down. Because nowadays, they've privatized all of the prison and given them federal funding. So it's actually more conducive to them to put us in jail. And it seems like that's where we want to go. But if jail wasn't like a vacation, people wouldn't be so happy to get there. That's how people, some of the younger generation, get their street credit, by going to jail.
Wow, that was really heavy. Can you elaborate on that? That was really heavy. I hope you can hear what he said, because he's keeping it real and keeping it raw. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, now you can go to jail. You get three free meals. You get somewhere to stay. You're in a protected, gated community. You get visitors. You got some people in jail dressed better than some of the people out here. Cell phones.
So we talk about
TV.
the consequences, and we talk about death or incarcerated, but we're talking about what happens behind the wall, what incarceration really looked like.
Well, here, incarceration is not like it should be. They have too many privileges that should have been relinquished when they made the decisions that was made. Now, some of us are victims of circumstance, a victim of society and our surroundings, but we have to grow above that. And we have to hold ourselves accountable for the things that we do.
It's about accountability. It's about accountability, and it's about taking our community back, taking our youth, holding our youth accountable, and saying, let's keep it real. What do you think, Si?
And speaking of, y'all said something about the fundings and stuff. There was going to be a fundings to this thing. I really believe strongly, if you give these young boys a job where they can make money, not no mediocre job where you're making only $10 and all. Give these young boys some work,
real jobs,
making $15 or more.
And
that would become a fad.
That
fad is what the kids really need. Then they'll take on a responsibility,
and
of
that'll
their
make
family.
Make them enjoy going to work.
Right.
And it's making them accountable.
Because we don't want to see all these young boys going to jail, then their kids is growing up under somebody else. Because then when they call home from jail, they want to, want to know how their kids are doing. This guy shouldn't be telling my kid this and that, but you're not there for them.
Exactly.
But you're not there.
So
and it's important for our fathers to be here with our youth. Let's keep it real.
That's what I mean when I say you being selfish, You're not being fair to your kids, to your child.
Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real up in the barbershop. Let's keep it real about our children need to be with their dads, not their dads behind the wall, not their dads 6 feet under. Let's keep it real. Marcus just said some heavy stuff with Saphir, and they're keeping it real and giving you both sides, because there's a consequences. There's a consequences to your behavior, and we got to hold you accountable.
There we go.
So
let's do this.
We're going to
do it real.
Do the proper thing.
Marcus, I want to thank you so much for taking this time.
You're quite
Sai,
welcome.
I appreciate you allowing me to come into your barbershop today.
Anytime.
And keep it real. Can we just give that address one more time where we are?
6600 Grad Street.
6600 Grat Street. Is there a phone number or anything?
Now we go by our cell phone.
Okay, is there a time when you're here and when you're open?
7 to 7 every day.
7 to 7 every day, 7 days a week?
6 days.
6 days a week. What day you close?
Sundays.
They're closed?
But we still open now. We never close.
Okay.
Those hours are flexible.
So, this is a barbershop. This is somewhere you can come and get your hair cut. These are positive brothers that want to give back and are giving back to their community, to the youth, and keeping it real.
And as to my young Muslim brothers, read your Quran, study your Quran, live the Quran. And the Quran states, never should a believer kill a believer.
And we talked about strength based with your faith, your religion, and how important it is. And the brother just got finished saying, pull on it, because that's what's going to empower you to move forward. Without that, sometimes we're lost, we're stuck, we're in a dark place. But you don't have to be.
She gave it up to you.
On that note, I'm going to get ready to go. I want to say I humbly submit this and say thank you so much for taking your time to be a part of trying to rectify the solution and make a difference and give back and try to move in a different direction, a positive direction, not a negative direction. And I'm grateful and humbled that Safir allowed me to come into the barbershop and real talk.
Anytime.
So on that note, I'm going to say, be good to yourself. Do self-care. If you are having suicidal ideation, I will put a post for numbers. If you're having drug and alcohol issues, I will post a number. If you having domestic violence, I will post a number. If you would like to talk with Let's Talk with Yolanda, I will post a number. I hope that this live today can help someone else, may possibly save someone's life. You know, sometimes when you get angry, sometimes you gotta pause, you gotta stop and just say, let me think about this. Is this worth it? Because there's consequences to my behavior. On that note, I'm going to say love yourself, love your neighbor. Safir, thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum.
Marcus, thank you
Peace.
very much. I appreciate being here. Have a beautiful
Let's
day.
Stop the violence and increase the peace.
He said, stop the violence and increase the peace. We need that. Let's save our generation. Let's save ourselves. Let's save our families. Let's save our neighbors. On that note, be good to self. See you later.
Yolanda.